Welcome to Media Arts 10, aka Student Filmmaking Online Class, where you filmmakers in the making are the priority. This is Miss Jam of Davao City National High School, also a filmmaker in the making. Our first topic is how to operate Canon cameras. This video is going to be about how to use the Canon camera for video. In order to shoot video on a Canon camera like this, spin the mode dial to the video camera. As you notice, it will switch to the LCD screen or live view mode because we can't use the viewfinder to film with this cam. To toggle through menus and settings, you have to use the physical buttons on this camera, like the menu button down here that has our main menu options on it. The Q button up here is your quick menu that has a bunch of quick video settings in it. When you hit the display button, you actually change the information that you view on the screen. So right now, you're just seeing the image. If we hit display, you can see our exposure settings down here. The highest resolution in this camera record, Full HD 1080p at 24 or 30 frames per second. In order to change that, you go into menu and you go into the second menu, movie record size. And as you can see, besides filming at 30 and 24 frames per second at 1080, it films at 720p at 60 frames per second for action, or if you want to put something in slow motion, and 480p at 30 frames per second if you want to film in a 1996 mode or make VHS copies. You can also change your movie record size by going into the quick menu and then going to the third one from the bottom. And then you can pick whichever one you want. Exposure settings. Well, the Canon T3i only had an auto exposure. The Canon T5, T6, T7, etc. all give us the option to choose between auto or manual exposure. To choose between auto and manual exposure, we go into the menu, to the very first menu at the very top. Here, you see you can choose between auto and manual. In auto exposure, the camera will adjust aperture, shutter speed, and ISO automatically. So, if you're filming and the light in your scene changes, the camera will adjust accordingly. However, we still can control how our camera reacts by going into exposure compensation. Here, if we go to the left, it will expose the image to be darker. And if we go to the right, it will expose the image to be brighter. On automatic, you can see that as I open the door, the camera adjusts for the change in exposure automatically, but it is quite jarring. In manual, it is really dark in the outside, but as I open the door, it looks nice because I manually adjust the settings to be exposed for the light on the inside.